rising to the level of impeachment. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy with the new threat against President Biden. New reporting on his new step and his next step when we come back.
But Hannity,
Mr.
this is
Speaker,
rising to the level of impeachment inquiry, which provides Congress the strongest power to get the rest of the knowledge and information needed.
We should say that Biden has repeatedly denied such claims.
And when you hear House Speaker Kevin McCarthy suggest that they may be close to an impeachment inquiry of President Biden, what's your reaction to that?
My reaction is, where's the evidence? There is no evidence of any wrongdoing by the president. And Mr. McCarthy knows that. The former president, who was so corrupt and crude and base, engaged in such criminal activity, now we're going to try to deflect, or McCarthy's going to try to deflect and try to drag Mr. Biden into this.
On the subject of what could be a pending impeachment inquiry into President Biden, what questions, if any, do you have about Joe Biden's connection to Hunter Biden's business dealings?
I don't have any at this point, but certainly there are questions that can be asked and should be answered if there was any connection. But we don't see any evidence of that whatsoever. So they're making it up whole cloth.
And where would you learn that evidence if not for an inquiry?
Well, sadly, we won't learn it by way of our Judiciary Committee, which is now led by Jim Jordan. He's chair of Judiciary, and he's proven himself to be very weak in the hearings that we have had. But to actually hold Mr. Trump to account, no man is above the law, and we must make sure we are that governing by the rule of law.
All right, new this morning, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy made his most direct impeachment threat against President Biden, telling Fox that the Republican investigation of Biden's alleged involvement with his son's business dealings while he was vice president is rising to the level of an impeachment inquiry.
Yeah, the most explicit threat yet. Remember, this is something also not to take lightly. It is very rare for a president to be impeached. In fact, just 3 in American history have been impeached. Donald Trump was the only one who did get impeached twice. If Joe Biden is impeached, he would be the 4th. And Republicans making clear that they potentially could do just that. And that after Kevin McCarthy indicating that an impeachment inquiry could be launched. That is a first step in moving ahead and formally charging a president with committing high crimes or misdemeanors. The allegation here that Joe Biden was involved with his son Hunter's business dealings while as vice president, including an unverified allegation from an FBI informant that Joe Biden was involved in some sort of bribery scandal while serving as vice president. Now, the White House has dismissed all of this and said that the president was not involved with his son's business dealings, and said that the Republicans are pushing forward with what they call a political stunt.
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy has ramped up his threat of an impeachment inquiry against President Biden. It all stemmed from the GOP investigation into Biden's alleged involvement with his son's business dealings while he was vice president. A White House spokesperson criticizing House Republicans for failing to focus on important issues.
I think the American people want Congress to deal with their problems and not go on wild goose chases to investigate everybody under the sun. We got a lot of problems in this country, and we need bipartisan action to deal with those problems. So I think that's what the American people really want. So I don't know what they're doing or why they're doing it, and they can do what they want. They have the power to do that. But I think they'd be better advised to deal with the problems we all face now and in the future months.
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy made his most explicit threat yet when it comes to impeaching President Biden.
An impeachment inquiry of President Biden is on the table. That's what House Speaker Kevin McCarthy told Fox anchor and Trump ally Sean Hannity, signaling an aggressive new approach as Republicans investigate Hunter Biden. Republicans allege that Joe Biden was linked to his son's business deals, pushing unverified claims of a bribery scheme. Biden and the White House have repeatedly denied those claims. One day before Hunter Biden is set to plead guilty to a pair of federal tax misdemeanors, House Republicans are urging the judge in the case to consider potential political interference claims made by two IRS whistleblowers. In an appearance before the House Ways and Means Committee, those whistleblowers alleged that the probe into President Biden's son was tainted by political interference.
Of course, as we noted earlier, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy say in no uncertain terms that he is considering an impeachment inquiry into President Biden. Obviously, this is a consequential shift in what he is saying publicly, and it comes as you're seeing other Republicans urge McCarthy to take action on what they allege is this connection between President Biden and his son Hunter's Biden's business dealings.